Cybersecurity breaches are often treated as an isolated IT issue, but usually result from a number of breakdowns within an organisation. We met with global law firm Orrick, Harrington and Sutcliffe, who showed us that breach preparation is key for effective defence from cyber attacks.
These days we're increasingly living online, but the truth is that we're actually really right at the beginning of the digital revolution. In coming decades, everyone and everything will be connected, wherever you might be on the planet. That brings great benefits, of course, but it also brings opportunities for cybercrime.
Cybercriminals have deactivated the systems in an entire smart building through a sophisticated and targeted attack. It's a reconstruction based on real-life scenarios, which global law firm Orrick, Harrington and Sutcliffe deal with every day.
Have we been hacked?
Gone are the days of the lone wolf hacking from their bedroom. Today, cyber gangs working for organised crime or nation-states are part of an arms race, with skilled attackers developing new ways to breach systems and networks.
It's no longer just companies that are receiving fines. We're seeing executives being named individually in these in litigation matters and potentially facing criminal liability for decisions that they make in the immediate aftermath of an incident, a breach.
It's not something that a lot of people who are at board level in most companies have day-to-day experience of dealing with. But it's also important to recognise what you don't know and to be unafraid of asking questions to make sure you really get to the nub of what your organisation's cybersecurity risk is.
Although governments are developing new policies to defend against cyber attacks, companies don't have the luxury of waiting. They need to defend themselves.
If there is a breach, how do you respond? What are the legal requirements or what are the laws that apply say you need to do?
That's where the Cyber Privacy and Data Innovation team at Orrick come in, a full-service law firm serving the technology and innovation, energy and infrastructure and finance sectors globally. They help organisations from startups to global tech giants to navigate large-scale data incidents and, if there is an attack, to help respond and limit the reputational fallout.
We're kind of legal detectives, is how I would say it. Where we come in is essentially helping clients to know what to do with that information. What legal risks does that trigger for me? How should I engage with the threat actor? Do I pay a ransom? Can I pay a ransom? And then what happens if I do?
In a fast-moving situation, it's vital to avoid simply delegating to IT.
Because a cybersecurity attack is not an IT issue, it's a legal operational risk issue. It's very important to therefore reach out to their general counsel, data protection officer, and include the communications and PR folk at the outset to make sure that you're able to deal with both the legal and reputational risk that flow from a cybersecurity incident.
Cybersecurity risk is a global problem which requires a global perspective.
You may have employees in the United States, a supplier or data center in India, your customers in Latin America. The data is traveling across all of those geographical lines. And the cyber attackers know that. They're going to try to grab the most sensitive data, hold that at ransom, and threaten to publish it unless you pay them a big sum of money.
With these different international jurisdictions at play, it's important to consider your strategy in notifying each country's regulator to avoid fines and litigation.
That's why you need a law firm that has that global experience and that global perspective, and that's what we do.
Orrick said the best way to prepare for any data breach is to create an incident response plan, where teams in the organisation have clear roles and responsibilities.
We often follow what I typically call a command and control approach. We adopt military tactics.
Orrick bring in forensic experts and use tabletop exercises and simulations to help clients rehearse the plan and regularly update it, just like a fire drill.
We really recommend practice, right? Because when a cybersecurity incident happens, for most companies, it's the first time that they experience something like this. And it's not something that people deal with every day in terms of crises. So a little bit of practice goes an awful long way in terms of providing a really good response.
It's clear that any company serious about staying ahead of this rapidly evolving landscape with increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks needs to prepare its response and call in expert advice, not just when an attack happens, but well in advance.